into sum to infinity, still busy with sequences and series. Number 1E said, find the following, and the sum reads, n equals from 1 up to 15, 2 plus. Okay, that is the question. So what must you do? You must find the sum of. Yes. First step is you write down the series. Starting where? Where n is equal to 1. Then n equal to 2, then n equal to 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 15. How many terms are here? 15. Are you sure?
Yes.
I agree. You are searching for the sum of 12. That's actually the question. Why am I saying 12? I'm searching for the sum of, I don't know where I read 12 now. Sum of 15. How did I teach you? If it's 1 to 15, nobody makes a mistake. But it's always 15 subtract 1 and add another 1. Right. So the series is when I substitute the end with 1 first of all. 1 plus 1 is 2, times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8. Then we got 2, so it's 3, times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Then it's 4. So where am I now? 1, 2, 3. Then it's going to be 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. And I can now see the pattern. Because we're adding 3 all the time. Can I find the last term if I want to? Okay? Which will be when you substitute in with 15. What will that be? Please? 50. I agree. Alright? So now what was the question? Find me the sum of 15 terms. What type of a series is this? Arithmetic. So A is 8 and D is 3. And we are substituting n into which formula? Can we have the last one? Yes. Since I did it, it's easy to go and do it. But if you didn't, you use the other one. And it's perfect. So I'm not going to use the D, but I need to know that it's a D sum to be able to use these formulas for arithmetic. So it's going to be 15 in the place of n. A's value is 8 and L's value is 50. And please give me an answer. 4, 3, 5. If I got 4, 3, 5 and a half, would it have made sense? Why not? It's all whole numbers, adding 3, adding 3, adding 3. So I'm just saying, and if it was 4,000 and something, and there's only 15 of them, I should have also failed. So just a measure of logic as well. Okay, just to see if maybe you made a big mistake. Let's look at number 2D. That says, find the value of n if okay, so find the value of n. And I'm giving you the sum of how many terms? N terms, and the sum is 700. But before you do anything else, if the sum starts off with sigma, you write down your series. What does the series look like? 7 plus 7 plus 7. Because we are substituting first k with 1. Then 2 times 1 is 2, minus 1 is 1. But anything to the power of, 1 to the power of anything will be 1. So even if it was a 2, it's going to be a 3 exponent, but 1 to the 3 is still 1. 5 exponent, 7 exponent, doesn't matter, it stays 1 times the 7 stays 7. How many times must that happen to find me the sum equal to
n times
700? Answer?
n times
100. Just like that. The nature of the sum is so ridiculously easy that you could have just seen the sum. And I know that Sn must be equal to 700. Look at this. It's going to be just adding 7 and 7 and 7. So how many times must I add 7 to get to 700? And the child that just gave me the answer? It's perfect. And it wouldn't have been more than about 2 marks. Is this an arithmetic sequence? Yes, because the D is 0. Right? Can I say it is geometric?
No.
What am I timing with? Okay, but why would I do that if the sum was actually so easy? If it's this easy, are you allowed to just give me an answer? Alright, good. Let's have a look at number 3C. 3A first, sorry. That says, now the question here isn't do the sum, because if I had to do the sum, then add them together and give me an answer. This question was, write it in sigma notation. So your marks are going to be for saying sigma. You're always going to use n. Please don't be cute and do other stuff. N. And over here we have to have our Tn. That's how it works. So in other words, to get to Tn, I first have to know whether this is arithmetic or geometric. A is equal to 2 and D is equal to 2. So that my Tn will be the formula what am I writing? Because now I'm busy with arithmetic. I need the Tn. I need to fill the Tn in here. My A's value was 2 plus n minus 1 times 2. Now previously I have said to you, you are allowed to use that exactly as it is there and put it here in this one's place. All that you now still need to say is from where to where does it go. So it goes from number 1 to
12.
there are 6 terms.
When now?
You had to go and actually just count them. There were 6 terms, so you go with your n from 1 to 6 with your general term there. Oh, am I done? I have to just write this thing with the Tn there. Now, I prefer to simplify, but you don't have to. You can leave it like that exactly and it's fine. If you do simplify, it's going to be 2 plus 2n minus 2. Remember that this must now be timed in distributively, which gives me 2n. So in that case, I just have to write Tn here as 2n. n is equal to 1 up to 6. Is it difficult? You must know that you must go get your A and your D or your A and your R, and then whether it's arithmetic or geometric, you've got to get your Tn. The formula is always going to be in geometric, in sigma notation. You're going to have your little sigma and then your general term. Always going from 1 to 6. You can be cute and do all sorts of stuff, please don't. Write your term in terms of n, because you can write it in terms of k and p and r and whatever, it doesn't matter. Write it in terms of n, and then always go from 1 to wherever the sum points. Okay, so similar to 3a, 3c also says, write this in sigma notation. So I need sigma and I need the Tn. Then I also know how many terms there are. So like she said, is this always going to be any from 1?
Yes.
Yes, because man told you so. Up to where? Because the sum there said this has got 12 terms. So there are 12 terms. It's just a matter of knowing where to write it. How will I find Tn then? Tn would be your A equal to 4 and your R. It could have been an arithmetic one, but it's definitely an R sum. Geometric R is How do you find that third? And make double and triple sure that it's right. That divided by 4. That divided by 4. If you can see it, it's 4 over 1, 4 over 3, 4 over 9. So you're all the time timing with the 3 at the bottom. Times with the 3 at the bottom means you're timing with 1 over 3. But make double sure that you got the right thing. So then Tn would be AR to the n minus 1 formula sheet. On the formula sheet you've got this. So your A value is 4 and your R value is a third. Is there really a way of simplifying this? If you want to write this as 3 to the power, it's not really simplifying it. I would rather just leave it that way, even if it's more elaborate than that. Just leave it that way and fill in here. This is going to be 4 times a third to the power of n minus 1. And you don't even need to have brackets around it because it's one entity. And over here you've got your n equal to 1 from 1 to 12, and that's it. How many marks? 3. Because you need to know that it's A and R. You've got to get the Tn formula with that, and you've got to be able to work with your sigma. Know what to write here is with a mark, and then writing the Tn formula. Okay, guys, this is difficult. But if you don't know what you're doing, then it's difficult. Okay, now they're asking me, find the greatest value of n for which this. What do you see?
Sigma.
Sigma. So what do you do?
Series.
Before I even know what I'm doing, I'm writing the series because it's worth a mark. So in this sum, have you seen? If they talk about n here, they got an n there. If they talk about k here, they got a k there. Right? So it's going k from 1 up to n. How many terms? N. N minus 1 plus 1, it's still n. So they want to know in this thing, but first before I read anything else, what's the series? K must be 1. So this answer will be negative 1. If it's 2, positive 1. If it's 3, 3. Okay, but what should be in between? Okay, because it's a sum of. And up to where? Are you finding the pattern? Right? Up to where? N terms. I don't know how many terms there are. There are n terms. What would the nth term be? To n minus 3 would be your nth term. Question now is, let's get to the actual question. Find the greatest value of n, number of terms, for which this will have be less than 48. What is this? This is the sum of. So I want to know when sum of will be less than 48. Switching that English language into math language. So when is the sum of less than 48? And now I've got to get a formula. With my A being negative 1 and my D being 2, get the correct ones. And the formula for that then would be n over 2. Can I use the A plus L? No, because I don't have the last one. It's going to be 2A plus n minus 1D less than 48. Substituting our A and our D, and the only variable will be n. So ma'am likes to always work with that 2 and take it away, but it's not necessary. It's just habit. I take that 2 away by doing what? Timing it by 2 on either side, so that'll be 96. Oopsie, but this is an equality. Careful, careful. No need. If you divide by 2, it's not a problem. Even if you divide it by negative 2, it's not a problem. You must just then swap the sign around. So it's no problem if I know the value is positive or negative. So then my A value was negative 1. And then my D value was 2. And I need to simplify. Simplifying inside of the brackets, it's going to be negative 2. This will be positive 2n and negative 2 again. With the n at the outside. Can I divide the whole thing by n? No, why not? You may never, ever divide by a variable. Never. And also then you're losing one of your answers. Okay, let's go. And say, I'm just going to take a little bit of a shortcut. This will be 2n times n giving me 2n squared. This is negative 4 times n is negative 4n. I'm seeing a quadratic equation inequality coming out here, so I'm going to make it less than 0. And then I'm going to try and solve this. Now, careful. This is a quadratic inequality. What should be going through your mind? One of those things. Get the critical values by factorizing. And guys, if you factorize this, you're going to get the factors which have already been done on your new calculator. If you've already divided it by 2. Are you with me? If you divide the whole thing by 2, what's it going to become? N squared minus 2n minus 48. Oh, guys, I divide times by 2 and now I'm dividing by 2 again. Who cares? Alternative steps. Right. And then your calculator will give you the, will I get the answers for n? Yeah, no, I will get the critical values. Remember, those aren't the answers, those are the critical values. They won't jump up and down about it, but the n values then will be what?
-6 and 8.
Okay, now if you got that on your calculator, you must know that this should have been +6 and -8. So you push into your calculator, the A is 1, the B is -2, the C is -48 in equations. Get your answers, go back crooked right, and then those are your 2 not n's. Those are your 2
critical values.
critical values that you use how?
Or no critical.
-6 and 8 on that graph. Start top right hand side, go through, and we are coloring in at the bottom, and it's not included, so it's excluded and excluded. Now the complete answer there would be that n must be between 8 and -6, but wait, n is position number, so it can't be negative. It can't be fractions either. Actually the correct answer is either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, not 8, because it's excluded. So the question was, what is the greatest n that this will happen for? Can you see how many people would have said 8? Okay, because of the inequalities, you're not including, it would have been 7. And then in actual fact, the correct full answer would have been either for 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 or 7. But the largest one, the greatest n, was n equal to 7. A little bit of tweaking it. And it had the inequalities in it that you also must be able to do. Right.